All right, folks, here we go. Texas tonight here. Ought to be a good one here for the Elite Series here for the Clean Racing League. And getting set to go green flag here tonight. I'm excited on it. Ought to be a good race here, too. And Bradley, we got these Xfinity cars. We know how these things are and it's going to be a little different, I think, than what it was last.
You cut out.
I said I think it's going to be a little different than what it was last.
Oh yeah, for sure. These cars definitely gonna carry a bit more speed. The driver's definitely gonna have to be a lot more careful with these cars. Looking like we're gonna have a one-stopper tonight, around 45, 48 laps of fuel from my runs. But we do have the new little shortened sprint races here in the Xfinity Series, so probably have some good battling.
Yeah, they had to readjust a little bit, but that's okay. Still going to be a great little season. And folks, if you're out there watching and love iRacing, want to race, check out cleanracingleague.com. Maybe come out if you ain't got anything to do on Tuesday nights and race in the series. Now, again, originally, just a little backstory, the series was supposed to be like a full Xfinity style series race. It will eventually get back to that, folks, but we want to see how it grows season. Obviously you always have your test pilots out there and whatnot. Get everything, growing, get the drivers going. So they shortened it down, like you said, a little bit here. So, I know there's some mixed feelings about it, but I still think it's going to be some great racing, especially with, you still got to make the pit stop. You can't just go blowing through this whole entire race without making a pit stop.
Oh, yeah, especially with these cars, you're gonna have to worry about your tires too. There's still gonna be a ton of strategy that's gonna play into it. Maybe just a little bit less, but I think we're gonna have a pretty even trade-off in terms of more exciting racing for a little bit less strategy.
Absolutely. Right now, you got Parker Collins up top there. Joshua Walt is the man here in charge. Apex Mountain Apparel Elite Series here for the Clean Racing League. Darren Staff, he's right there too. Another fast guy with Mike Kelly, Ghost, Miller. Got the Fowdy boys out there, Zach and Seth, Kenny, Gilliam, Curtis Dyer, Barnhill, Gillen, and Jamie LaRock has paced cars in. Here we go. Collins and company up front. Getting set to go. Green flag, Texas. How long do you think it'll be before we kind of see, single file here like we did last night?
Well, it's gonna be tough to say because the aero is so different on these cars. These trucks, it was almost like the Arcus series, like they were just pulling each other along with how much draft and just basically being a brick in the wind that they were. So I'm not sure if it's going to single file quite as much. I think there's going to be a little bit more opportunity for multiple grooves here in the racing tonight. So we will see. It looks like it's already going single file, so I might be.
I think that's kind of tense, man. That's the Texas style thing. I talked about it a lot last night. It's a momentum style track. You lose that momentum, you can really fall back really easily. And even Austin last night said the best, man. Hey, this thing is awful wide. True, but unfortunately you don't get to use the whole entire track.
Yeah, exactly. Especially with, like we've mentioned before, like how Dover's a self-cleaning track. This track definitely feels like the opposite. You get up high, everything's out there. Dust, marbles. It definitely gets a little tricky in 1-2. I think you can get away with it in 3 and 4 pretty well. I was doing a few of those moves on the outside 3 and 4, but 1 and 2 is definitely rough getting by out there.
I know this place is modeled pretty much after Charlotte, but it does drive a little bit different than what Charlotte would. Charlotte, I feel like, is a lot tighter of a track, or you get a lot more tighter at that track. Here you tend to get a little more looser coming off the turns and whatnot. So even though they're kind of modeled after each other, they drive a lot different.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think the exits must be a good bit flatter here because coming out of 2 with the trucks, if you were 100% throttling that thing, you were sliding, and
Yes.
that would definitely eat up them tires. So then we got to watch that with these cars here tonight, see what people are doing. Gotta have a little patience getting out of these turns, especially like you said, it being a momentum track. It's hard to have that patience sometimes. You're like, I gotta stay with this guy in front.
Yeah, tough to pass. We saw last night too. I mean, even with the battle there at the end, with the newer, a little bit newer tires, still wasn't able to make that pass on him. So that's another thing you have to look into with a track like this. Right now, good battle back there is Parker Collins, the man out front. Joshua Altus right there in second with Mike Kelly. Back here about this battle around about the 9th, 8th place spot going on here. Zachary Fowdy, Curtis, Barnhill and company back there with Kenny.
Yeah.
Russell.
Oh yeah. It's like, let's see, it's from 12th to 7th.
Yeah.
All kind of fighting for the same spots.
Yeah, that's just guys right there. You want to try to save. I love using the term conservative, aggressive. You got to be kind of a little bit conservative, but you got to be aggressive too. There's a fine line between it. You don't want to get in trouble. All last night, some of the trucks get a little tight on the inside too, and then actually snap loose. Saw some incidents, and boom, just like that right there. I think that was Kenny. A bump on the inside.
Yeah, they definitely a track that lends itself to tightness in the middle of the turn, and you definitely gotta be careful when someone's pinching you down the outside. They can get a pretty big advantage because they know you have to be extra careful, but it's also risky for them because, shoot, that driver might come up into you and then both of y'all's races are over.
Absolutely. Miller holding on to the 8th place spot. Curtis right there in 9th. 10th place man's Dyer. And the other guy's going to go through the, that's back there. That was Joshua Gillian side there. Meanwhile, it's still a good battle back here. Parker Collins still got the lead up front. Collins right now, the man out front there with Altus behind him. They're pulling away from old Darren.
Just hard charging. I think, and then this is one of Parker Collins. I would say this is a track that really suits him with just ruthless consistency.
Yeah, that's a good term too. Even with a lot of momentum tracks, you got to be consistent. Yeah.
Dyer going a little slowly. It looks like he's back into it.
Yeah, he's back here, man, a 9th place spot. Yep. Get on to it. Pretty good. The battle's behind him there with Daniel Miller and Evan Kenny. Van Hill. Is it Van Hill?
I would say Barnhill.
Green kind of blending in a little bit. Barnhill, right?
I'm not sure if I've seen him around here. I think he's a new member of the CRL.
Okay. Here. Board here. Racing League here tonight. Check them out, cleanracingleague.com. That's a great sponsors, and this one is a primary sponsor here, Apex Mountain Apparel. Go check them out at apexmountainapparel.com. Promo code CRL 2025. Got the Ghost Athletics, CRL podcast. Right now, everybody kind of got single file. This is kind of what this track produces. This man right here is trying to check out. He's got a 3/10 lead over Altus, and they've got a good solid, a 2 to 2.5 second lead over this man.
Yeah, Darren Staff, another decently new member of the CRL. He ain't no shrimp. He's got some speed to him.
Did well at that race, man. A couple weeks ago there in Oklahoma. I like to see what he could do, man. side right now. He's looking pretty strong here in the Indy car. Mike Kelly, well, we know, and man, last night didn't have the race he wanted to with the trucks. Just shoving backside there on the start, and boom.
Yeah, just an unfortunate incident for him. Not other than the beginning of the season, he's been having some tough luck in the truck series, but luckily he is winning year in the truck series, so he doesn't have to sweat it too much.
Absolutely. Him right there, man, sitting in the 4th place spot. Ghost man up here. They say you can't see him. I have to see him soon if he keeps clawing to the front, though. He's sitting in 5th.
Oh yeah, he's definitely one of them guys that adapts over the race pretty well. You might be beating him lap 15, and then here comes lap 16. He's blown by you.
Now, I learned something interesting in this past Sunday, that the next gen car does not have a track bar to it. And the reason I bring that up is because you actually, my knowledge, can see the track bar up underneath this car. Here.
Mm-hmm.
So, that tells me that they're still running on the old style suspension, these cars, as opposed to more of an in style suspension with the next gen car. I would say this car is still set up more like an older style.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'd say that the closest thing that this is related to is the Gen 4 car.
Okay.
Because the trucks are kind of they feel a little bit limited. They feel more like their own thing. Like they push a lot more. They're very stable platform. These things, you can definitely feel every single bump, and they're definitely the loosest out of all of them. Pretty simple design compared to the next gen and the trucks as well.
Right now, Parker's got this thing figured out. Altus is catching him some there. Now, the last lap, man, it looks like Collins was a little bit faster, but Altus is slowly but surely every once in a while. And if you can't get to the back door.
Yeah, you can tell he's peaking a little bit, getting a little lower than Parker. Coming on the back straight, he's looking, seeing what he can do.
Oh yeah. Like that time he was about 200 faster, about times a lot. 200 faster. As it's not going to be enough meant for him to just go blowing right by him. To get to his bumper.
He looks on the inside here. It's like Parker's going to be able to hold that speed out onto the back straight.
That last time now, he was way faster, man. The 24 to 50, and that kind of speed to be able to go right by him. See, but draft does play a little factor here. Texas, I mean, this is a big, even though it's 1.5 miles, it's considered a pretty big track.
Yeah, and especially when you're flat out for a good bit of it as well.
Talked last night, a track like this could probably benefit a guy like Altus. He didn't do as well, but he came home in 3rd last night. Not a bad finish for him. So maybe in this car where it looks like he's got a better long run car than what Parker does, but I mean, they still seem pretty even right now.
Yeah, definitely. And Altus looking on the inside again. See if he can outbrake him.
That outside, he's going to be able to get the run off the turn. That's going to be the question. Get even. I think maybe Altus get the pushed on the inside. He might nope. That car probably got a little tight and he had to get out of it right there. Still dead even.
Yeah. And the nature of Texas, it looks like Altus maybe will get it, but Parker's looking at this kind of switchback move here.
That momentum he gets. We talked about that. Put a pass, and then the guy behind you gets that run going. Parker back to the insides. He want to be able to clear him. That's because he's going to be able to. Man, he squeezed it in there, but Altus, he got a little loose out of the turn, killed it for him.
Oh, he's going right back though.
Yeah, he's getting fired back on the inside. Like maybe I just got a little bit maybe tight loose there on him and wasn't able to get momentum going into the turn. Pull it down, try it again.
Yeah, and the nature of Texas too is these battles can last forever.
Yes, back and forth.
We could still be talking about these guys at lap 70 going back and forth.
Battle here for the lead. Ghost, we got one pit stop already. Darren on 12th place right now. Falling back, he's actually doing the pit stop. Ghost up to third there. Watching this battle for the lead here. Collins and Altus. I'm just kind of being patient right now.
Yeah, that is interesting with Darren pitting, because that would be a two-stopper and kind of get a good split on both the runs, and might be having a little bit more tire wear than we thought, so it'll be interesting to see how that two-stop strategy plays out.
Yeah, we'll have to see what these guys up here doing, because they're the ones racing really hard, so they would, normally would be the ones on the track using the tires up the most between Altus and Collins right here by doing the battling that they're doing here. And a guy like Seth Fowdy and maybe Ghost back here just kind of riding, be okay, but so it'll be interesting to see when they make their pit stop. Altus makes that pass.
Parker's kind of looking. It may not be the end of that. But they do have about 45 laps of fuel, so that they've got about 17 more laps if they want to run it all the way out. The nature of Texas too is it can be a pretty big strategy track as well, because when you only got like a 2/10 advantage, there's not a whole lot you can do. No. At least in the trucks last night, like I was like, and I cannot pass this guy. I'm a good bit quicker than him, but I can get anything going on. If I go inside, you're not gonna get the run on him. You go outside, you lost most of your momentum going into the corner. But you get the new tires on, and you're like, all right, now I can blow by them and start working on some other guys.
Yeah. Well, the back and forth here with Collins and Altus, I mean, those two, they're staying pretty even, but you could see where the draft is playing a factor there with Collins. You know, they were a couple hundreds of difference there at one time, but then Collins, he gets so far back, he gets that run, and that's what makes it, that last lap was a 37 to 42. But when he gets right up there to him, that's what makes the difference. At this point, he might just be riding.
Yeah.
Still a good battle. Kelly back here in third. Got a couple guys make the pit stop. Staff, Barnhill. Ghost is falling back here to the fifth place spot. Seth Fowdy up in the fourth. Gillian right there in the sixth. Daiquiri Fowdy having a good run here. The battle going on here with Evan Kenny, Curtis Miller. So, on here.
You can see the advantage that Staff's got on them tires.
Oh,
watching him come up here on Williams. I just able to dive it right down.
He's running almost a second quicker.
That two-stop might be something for Parker and Altus to watch out for.
if it doesn't get him too far behind,
Yeah.
and I mean he went a lap down. Obviously he's going to go lap down when the green flag stop. We'll just have to see how much ground. I mean he's still a lap down. That's the thing. We're going to see how much ground he can make up. I want to stick to though with him only being right at a second faster, a little bit over a second faster. That's just not. There's just not enough time.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's kind of how this track plays out. You know, that's why I always say track position. And unfortunately, you know this, Bradley. There's a lot of these 1.5 mile tracks. A lot of the tracks on iRacing, that is, only very few. Tires really matter. And when I say matter, I'm talking about 2 and 3 second times. Yes, a second is long. He was on pit road. Parker Collins, man, he does that a lot.
Wow.
He one of the best getting on and off pit road there, I'll tell you. I'm curious to see what his time's going to be now. But, you know this, that tires, yes, I mean, they're going to be faster, but the problem is you got to weigh the difference between how much time am I going to lose on the track? Do I have enough time to make it back up? That's where the question is going to come in.
Yeah. He's definitely gonna have his work cut out for him. I don't know if it's gonna be enough, but it'll be interesting to see because he's gonna get his lap back here, and he may just be doing an early stop, seeing if he could maybe make up the time early and hold out at the end. It looks like Altus gets off pit road a little bit quicker.
Yeah. Now, I mean, I said Parker Collins is the man, but boy, Joshua Altus, he went toe-to-toe with him. They both had a dual time of 44s, one with a 13, one with a 22, and that put them right there side by side battling with each other. Their pit times, 14.9, 14.3. See, it does look like Collins is better on that on the shorter style runs. And that's kind of what I'm used to seeing with Altus. He's more of that medium long style runner, more conservative, and I think it's going to pay off for him here because I don't think you're going to see these two guys come on the pit again unless there's a caution.
Yeah, unless there's a caution, I don't see. Yeah, coming in at lap 36, I don't see any world of them coming in.
No. And that's where we go off of where Darian, unless there's a caution, I don't think this two-stop strategy is going to pay off. Because even when he goes back in pits, it's going to put him right back a lap down. And we just saw it's just not going to be enough time for him to make that.
Yeah.
And we always say, hey, it's not always about the speed. Sometimes it's about that strategy, too, in racing.
Yeah, exactly. Especially in oval.
Yeah. You got to put that whole picture together. I know everybody wants to always say, the fastest guy wins. Not always. You got to be fast. You got to be good on your pit stops. Hit your marks. Don't make a mistake. Obviously, don't get caught up in a wreck or anything. Got to put that whole package together.
Yeah, so it's a puzzle you solve as you're racing.
Absolutely. I mean, because you see a lot of fast guys in real life, and some of them, they don't always win.
Yeah, like, let's say one of the examples of that this year is Chase Elliott. Outstanding points this season, but due to some crew chiefing mistakes and all that, he's only got 2 wins. And granted, they're big wins.
Kyle Busch the same way. Oh, Barnhill on the wall hard. Oh, don't stop on the track now. Yeah, there you go. Let's watch, see what happened, man, because he tore that car up. The 8 got him a little bit. Surprised that didn't.
Yeah.
That tire flat.
Yeah, they ain't fixing that one.
Now, done. Oh. Yeah, you're right. I mean, you know, you talk about some of the real life drivers there. You know, Kurt Busch, he's a fast driver, but he gets messed up. He gets caught up in mess on track, unfortunately, a lot. Yeah. Or pit strategy, you know. So it's just, I know it's frustrating as a driver. And the same way on iRacing, you know, you've got to be able to put that whole thing together. And that's why we're talking here with Darian. Not quite sure on the strategy of him coming in early, unless he feels like he can make it the distance. I don't know.
It's not looking likely with how quickly they're catching up now. So, well, he's gonna have to make something do soon here.
Yeah, I mean, because you can see these guys behind him there, Altus and Collins. And by the way, Altus did make the pass on Collins. He was running right back down, right behind him. They're going to, make short work of him.
Yeah, this fall off just too steep.
Yeah, this wasn't far enough ahead. I mean, would have had enough time to run it down. That's where I'm gonna say is kind of, you know, when you're 20 seconds or a lap or so down, yeah, it's a lot harder to make up that distance. 5 seconds you can kind of make up. Still, as long as you got enough time on the track to get it done. Mike Kelly right there, 2 in the 5th. Ghost, Curtis back there in the 7th. Webb and Kenny having a solid run here up in the 8th. Miller right there in the 9th. Gillian. Oh, Joshua Hughes has a fan club out there, man, rooting for him. Auburn car. We had a good run last night, too, by the way.
Oh, yeah. You got the tide rolling.
Roll tide. Into the rocks. WeatherTech, man. Seth Foudy back here. Zachary Foudy. Good pit stop. They must have had penalties or something. They had 50-second pit stop.
Oh, yeah. Surprised. Well, that is one thing I forgot to mention about Texas. The entrance is bugged a little bit.
You see it right
It'll
there.
Yeah, it will stop showing you your exact speed until you get to the line.
Oh, okay. Not really. You don't have the speed on your
It'll show you, like, you can see it in your bottom left for your regular speedometer, but usually when you come to the pits, it goes up across the top of the screen saying your exact speed.
Oh.
But for like you hit that green light and it stops showing your speed. It's weird.
Oh, okay. You know, to me, that would be more realistic.
Yeah.
I mean, because, you know, in real life, just for clarification, folks, in real life, these guys don't have speedometers in their car. They don't know how fast they're going. They have tacks and everything else, from my knowledge here. They might have now. Back in the day, they did. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
So how they dictate, obviously during practice or qualifying or whatnot, they'll come on pit road and they will check what RPM they have to do. Now in iRacing, like what you just said, we have that little thing that flashes up there that tells us our actual. So, and I've talked about this a couple times to fool the system, because there's white lines that you have to be, as soon as you cross that white line, you have to be at pit road speed. But in between those, you run 100 mile an hour, get that fast and slow down, an exaggeration, but you know, you could do it a mile or two over. Let's say if it's 35 mile an hour zone, you could run 37 and then get it right back down to 35, which would absolutely help your pit stop and whatnot. In real life, I guess they could try to do the same, a little bit more harder, because they don't know where the timing marks are. They don't know where any of that stuff is. Plus, they have to dictate by the RPM. They don't know how fast they're going. So I'm with you there, Bradley. I wish iRacing would do the same thing. That would bring a level of immersion to it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that'd be nice to see, like some leagues run that.
Oh yeah,
give it a little bit more sense of realism.
We would have.
Yeah, maybe it'd finally slow down Parker Collins a bit in the pits.
Yeah, he's been fast. Now, I mean, I will give hats off there to Joshua Altus. He matched him in that speed. Actually beat him. Saved one was 44. Parker 44.22. Altus was a 44.13 for total time. So he was able to get him, but yeah, 18 to go in this one here. It's all Altus out front. He's looking to get the win. Darren right there sitting in the third place, and I'm kind of curious on, can he make it all the way? Let's go on board here with him and see if maybe he's saving or anything. You can see right there, perfect example of what I was just talking about. Hey, I'm an old school guy. I like the analog look better than all this digital, that like the crap that they've got in the cars.
Yeah.
I just don't. It for NASCAR, it just don't feel right. I mean, for a Formula One or something, that's different. Exotic cars like GT3s, that's different.
Oh, here he comes.
Yep. To me here, I'm surprised that they went digital with the trucks.
Yeah.
Well, before they did the Xfinity, because the truck's supposed to be a lower level, more budget-friendly series, let's say, than the Xfinity series.
Yeah. Well, shoot, some of these dang screen systems are cheaper than the actual tax now.
Yeah, well, yeah. I think the whole system is what they're looking at. I mean, now, I know when it first came out, that was the big uproar, was the cost. Even with the fuel injection, everything's fuel injection now. It's nothing carbureted, but some of it was the cost. Now, like what you said, over the years, it probably could have came down and so on. I say analog. Even with those tacks right there, I mean, they still could be kind of an analog but a digital style tack. Who knows with the tech inside of it nowadays.
Mm-hmm. Probably a lot of it has to do with whoever's making them and who can mass produce the most for these trucks and all these cars. Yeah, I'll take the tack any day.
Yeah. All for it right there. Got Altus right now still leading with Collins behind him. Got a half-second lead between the two. Matthew Gilliam pulls it up, but he's about 8 seconds back on the runners up front here. Joe sitting there in fourth, Kelly there in fifth. Now the closing of this one here with 13 to go.
They're definitely putting it on them tonight.
Oh, yeah. They'll stretch that lead. Curtis, he's up 6 spots now for Gilliam.
Making some moves.
Kevin Kinney had a good little run last night there in the trucks. At the ARCA Series tomorrow, how you feeling about it, Brad?
I'm pretty excited.
Okay.
The ARCA car at Texas is
I don't want to see you up in the booth, all right?
Oh, I'll try. I'll try my hardest.
Hey, you've been doing pretty good in the trucks. I'll give you credit.
Yeah. I had a little bit of unfortunate luck last night, but still managed to bring you across the finish line.
Monkey off your back so far so good. Truck series.
Yeah.
Got the Elite Series here tonight. Clean Racing League presented by Apex Mountain Apparel. Check out apexmountainapparel.com. Some other great sponsors: Ghost Athletics, CRL Podcast. Check them all out there at cleanracingleague.com. Texas style. I always say, man, everything's big in Texas. A big track, big race, big horsepower here. Maybe some big egos on the track. I always like to throw out they got big cows.
Oh, yeah.
Austin last night said he's from Austin. So they got big steaks. I said, well, see, there you go, big cows. Enjoy it. Gilliam's up 6 spots. Bad run for him.
Yeah, I've noticed that about him. He's a good like kind of comeback driver. He may not put up the best times in qualifying, but he'll be up there by the end.
Clean and green so far here tonight, these guys. And like I say, just to reiterate a little bit, folks, I know you're like, well, man, we started out with long races. We did. The series will get back to that point. You know, you always got to have like your test pilots type of stuff. Because it's the first series, the first season of the series. It's new. We're trying to build up, you know, the racer base and all that here. So, with that said, if you're out there listening and you want to, you know, participate on Tuesday, by all means, check them out. Want to hit up Joshua Walters, send a message on cleanracingleague.com. But they shortened down the length of the race a little bit just for this season. You know, I think we'll get back to the level we were. And they'll reevaluate and whatnot, see what we've got. Go from there, but it's been an exciting one, though. Hey, I mean, it's been a good one. I think really it's going to be good when we get to maybe like a really short track, too.
Oh, yeah, for sure. These things are great on some short tracks.
Yeah. Like, actually, well, Auto Club next week, but like Bristol and Darlington will be kind of good.
Oh, yeah. Get some real drivers tracks going.
Oh, yeah. Because this one, I don't want to say it's a drivers track. It's more of a momentum style track.
Oh, yeah. Good momentum and consistency training here. We got Altus starting to pull away a little bit.
Oh, yeah. He's got 6/10 over Collins. He ran it. I mean, they both ran about the same time, 51-54 that last time. But they are running a good solid, almost 10th faster than Gilliam. Gilliam ran a 67. 4 to go, man. Altus going to pull this thing off here tonight. Texas. And I'll go back and say I think a track like this really fits his driving style. You know, he's more on that conservative line. I know he said he's been trying to work on his qualifying and stuff and try to work on being a little more aggressive, but he is going for cautious, conservative.
Yeah. He likes to get a good plan going.
Yeah, he does. And then some tracks it works out, some it don't. You know, he just runs out of time.
Yeah.
Like now, man, it's working out great for him. And in this car too, that's another thing where you touched on it earlier. You got to really drive this car a lot more than, let's say, the truck or even the next gen. That is. So a car like this being smooth around a track like this really benefits you.
Oh yeah, definitely. And it's almost as if these cars feel heavier. Like, I know they're heavier, but like they feel a lot more heavier sometimes too. So being able to get through the whole race without your shoulders tiring out on you, if you got a direct drive wheel, is a pretty good skill to have too.
You know, I'd love to get back out racing some. My problem is I've tried a couple times up at the race at a nearby comic shop, and I'm getting one of their sins. I have a problem with one of my knees, and after about 5 laps or so, it starts to hurt so bad, mashing on the brake, and I just can't do it. But you're right. It can get tiring with those direct drive wheels, but white flag coming across the line is going to be Joshua Altus. He's going to put it in victory lane. Parker Collins coming home in second. Matthew Gilliam with a good finish here tonight. And third. Man, what a finish to this one here. Good showing, good outing for these guys here in this Elite Series.
Oh, yeah. Josh did about everything he needed to do there.
Mm-hmm. Consistent, conservative, got it done tonight. Teammate too, Matthew Gilliam.
Oh, yeah.
The other man. Collins. One's in there. There's Collins. Only dad, man. All right. Bring up old Gilliam. Let's get a word with him.
You got me, Matthew?
Yeah.
Good racing from you tonight. Coming from 9th to 3rd. Very consistent. How'd you get that done?
Yeah, honestly, wasn't really all too impressed with my qualifying effort, so I thought, you know what, probably going to have to try and save a little bit of fuel. Might as well just try and conserve the tires, especially 1 and 2, seeing how tight people were getting, especially on the exit with 2. But felt pretty good over on the long run, and once we got to that fuel window and got to about lap 35, went ahead and pitted, and felt like we could make it there. I actually went up sputtering as I was coming across the line, and thought Ghost might get me there for a little while, but certainly happy to come home P3.
Oh, yeah. A great result. Did you have to do any fuel saving throughout the race, like clutching in or anything?
Just shutting it off a little bit there in that first run. Really not a whole lot. I mean, I think I came to pit from 35 coming to 36, so I felt pretty comfortable, and honestly felt like, I was kind of a little surprised that I was sputtering there coming to the line. I thought I at least would add maybe an extra lap or so fuel left, but all in all, I mean, felt pretty good, and definitely was trying to be a little bit more aggressive. Thought I could have more in the tires there in that second run, and it certainly paid off.
Well, good job tonight, man. Anybody you want to shout out?
Thanks, buddy. Certainly thank you to you guys for all that you do there with OSR and everything here with the Elite Series and CRL, Texaco, Haviland, Coca-Cola, Apex Mountain Apparel, everybody with CRL that gets this thing done. Congratulations to my teammate Josh on the win. I know he loves this place to death. Certainly excited for him to get the win, as well as, just shout out to our S&B boys overall, but as well as my fiance Desiree for letting me do this. So certainly a solid night.
All right, well, thank you, man, and we'll see you next week.
Appreciate it.
Go, Matthew Gilliam, man, bringing her home here tonight. And coming in second here today, Parker Collins. Let's get a word with him.
Got me, Parker?
Yeah, what's up?
A pretty good racing tonight. A solid P2. You and Josh just kind of ran away from everybody. Had a 10-second gap on them. How'd y'all manage that?
Yeah, I mean, I felt like I was kind of running my own race, running my own pace. I wasn't too worried about fuel till probably a little bit too late, honestly. Started to just kind of go 90% throttle down the front and back stretch, and then towards the end of the first run started to clutch in for turns 1, but yeah, I had to clutch in a lot more than I really wanted to, and couldn't run nearly as quick as I wanted to, and Josh just got away from me. I thought I'd just let him go and try and reel him back in, but I just couldn't save enough, and he had enough saved still, so I just didn't have enough. But it was a really good race, really, really happy with the results and the efforts, and we'll go on next week, try again.
Definitely. Well, we saw y'all's little pit battle. That was very interesting to see. We know we talk about you a lot here, getting into pits as fast as you possibly can, and it's always fun to watch. And anybody you'd like to shout out?
Yeah, just all the guys at Elite Dads for everything they do. Evan brought a new scheme to the track this week. Looked amazing. Shout out to him. You guys putting on the broadcast every week. Just Chris and everybody over at CRL for just continuing to put on this great league, and all the work they put in is not unnoticed. Friends and family watching, my beautiful wife.
All right. Well, thank you, man, and good job.
Yep, thank you.
You go, Parker Collins, pulling her home in second tonight. Bring up this man, Joshua. Join the booth, got copy.
10-4, Joe, I got you.
Well, you was able to get up front, and I was talking earlier, I think this track, man, suits your driving style, but, man, we remember a couple of weeks ago we talked about Parker having those stellar in and out of pit roads, but tonight you beat him there, and then you was able to get out in front of him. Take us through how you was feeling on this track here.
Yeah, I don't know, Joe. Like, for whatever reason, I was just telling the guys in the interview room, like, just certain tracks. It's funny how certain drivers just kind of migrate to certain tracks, and Texas has always been a place I've felt really good at. Like you said, I don't know if it just fits my driving style or what, but I'm able to be really patient in 1 and 2, and I think I think a lot of people overdrive 1 and 2 quite a bit, and then tonight, like 3 and 4, I could really be aggressive and kind of cut the nose down the track and get in the throttle really early. And I was just telling Matthew, I was like, man, it felt like I was hitting a turbo boost half the time, because it's like the closing rate would be crazy at times. So, yeah, and the pit road was fun. I'm having all kinds of problems with my wheel, like the metal, I don't know what you call them, the little metal racking where my buttons go on the end. 2 of those snapped off last night, so I had to switch to my clutch pedal, which I normally use a button, and so I was having to practice kind of getting off the gas, getting on the brake, using the clutch pedal, and that was the first green flag stop I've done doing that, and I knew Parker was right behind me, so I was like, man, this is baptism by fire right here. I got the most aggressive guy behind me coming up pit road, and then for whatever reason the commitment line is super early here, but then the actual pit road speed doesn't start till like another 20 yards. So yeah, it was just I was just happy I didn't wreck, to be honest with you. I just wanted to get to pit road smoothly, beat Parker out. He got right back around me, but I just had to save a little bit of fuel, and then I took off, and yeah, we were really good.
No doubt. Definitely, man. The class of the field tonight, you two were, but you made it stick. Got that win tonight. You got anybody you want to thank?
Yeah, I got to thank you, Joe, OSR Network. Bradley, appreciate you jumping up with Joe and commentating. I just want to thank really everyone that's a part of this series. I know it's kind of been a slow burn to get things going, and this was kind of our first night where we changed up the schedule, but I might be biased, but I thought it was a lot of fun. I thought we still probably produced some really good racing. I really enjoyed racing Parker. He's obviously one of the best in CRL right now, so it felt really good to actually beat him straight up on speed, and no strategy or gimmicks or cautions. Like, it was just pure speed and racing. So that was definitely a confidence booster for me to know that I can still run with these guys that are really, really quick. So just thanks to all my competitors for coming out, and hopefully we'll continue to get some more guys throughout the league. Thanks to Chris Smith for obviously putting on CRL and allowing me to kind of build out the series. It's really special to me to get a win in my own series, so to say. So really thankful for that. And I got to thank Drew Hodges and Apex Mountain Apparel for not only sponsoring the number 94, but also the entire CRL Elite Series. So anyone listening, if you haven't yet, please go check him out at apexmountainapparel.com. Get you a t-shirt. He's got the CRL ARCA truck and Elite Series, all the lines out there. I think they're only like $15, so go get you one. You can even make a request if you want to do like a team shirt or something. He'll work with you. So just really appreciative of Drew Hodges and everyone at Apex Mountain Apparel for all their support of our series and myself. And just a great night, and thank you guys again. We'll see you next week.
There you go. Joshua Altus bringing her home tonight. Just the results order real quick here. As like you just said right there, Altus bringing it home, winning it. Parker Collins in second. Matthew Gilliam's bringing it home in third. Ghostman, good finish for him there in fourth. Mike Kelly up there in the fifth. Curtis starting to finish in sixth. We got Kenny there in seventh. Miller there in eighth. Joshua Gilliam, good run by him. 4 spots up there in ninth. Darian Staff finishing out in 10th. Damon the Rock in 11th. Seth Fowdy 12th. Matthew Dyer 13th. Zach Fowdy 14th. And Brian Barnhill unfortunately hitting the wall. He's back there in 15th place spot. But yeah, I mean, for a shorter lapped race, I really felt like, Bradley, that it was a good race. I don't think it took away from any of the strategy or anything like that. I know, you know, guys have mixed feelings on it. To me, I still felt like this race was just on par to what we see in probably some of the longer races.
Oh, definitely. It actually brought like a lot more strategy than I thought it would. That hearing that them guys are having to clutch in through some of the laps and save a lot more than they thought they would have had to. It was a great one.
Absolutely. Well, folks, man, we're going to leave Texas here tonight for the Clean Racing League Elite Series presented by Apex Mountain Apparel. For myself and everyone, have a good night.